Dear students, we are in the sixth part of the sensory integration therapy. So we have already gone through the consideration of sensory diet for seekers, active avoider. Now, children who are under responder, like if you are giving a normal stimuli and you are expecting a normal response, but the child is not responding. So that means child is under responder. And for them regarding the sensory diet, we have to increase the use of visual supports and routines. The routines cannot be same. The routine, if the routine is same, so you try to bring in some surprises, and use of visual support is a very good method to improve sensory response. Response to sensory stimuli, structure the environment, time to respond. All should You should give enough time to respond. Careful encouragement to try new experiences. When you should the therapist should try to encourage new experiences, but be very careful, because sometimes the new experiences, if you give, it may create some adverse effect also. So try to gradually introduce new experiences. Children who are overwhelmed means they are hyper sensitive. So sometimes they are in a very highly facilitated stage. So control the environment. In these cases, control to gradually, try to minimize the amount of sensitivity here, sensation stimuli here. Control the environment, limit the stimulation to a very lower, very very simple and what you call soft stimulation. Limit change, but prepare for changes. Even though you will, this doesn't mean that always we have to give a very small or a simple stimuli. Slowly you will start with simple stimuli and try to improve the strength of the stimuli. Prepare for changes, so that they should be ready for changes when they need to occur. So what are the environmental support? I have already, we have mentioned, we have understood that environment support is very very important. So in the context of organization, so how to organize? So usually we use pegboards, those kind of activities for normal people also for organization. So the organizing activities which you are giving should be predictable, structured, consistent environment, task or curriculum. So that means it should be of meaningful and purposeful, and it should be predictable. Uh, the child's intelligence also should improve along with this. Structured, it should be structured one. It cannot be like discrepant, asymmetric, or haphazard kind of task. It has to be a structured task to be completed in an environment consistent to the environment. The consistency should be there. Task or curriculum, it can be either task or kind of a curriculum, syllabus based. Visual supports escape environments. So even if the child goes to escape from one environment to another environment, the further the child goes to a new environment, there also it should be that you can go for treatment. It should not be that the child will escape from one environment from your side and go to another place. So there also try to implement your so escape environment should also have some sort of the above mentioned qualities. Proactively schedule sensory activities. We have to schedule the sensory activities, therapist. So everything the child does should be under our control. We should have some idea and always have a direction as a therapist, that in whatever environment we are treating the child, we should have a good idea, and we should have a direction with in mind, keeping all the above said you know factors. Use the power senses. Use the senses such as vestibular, proprioceptive, and tactile throughout the day in order to help a person alert, attend, act, and react. At times, additional activities or input may be needed based on the behaviors observed. So, according to so naturally in the process of the treatment, the child's behavior will change. So don't think that once a one particular behavior change and you just suddenly don't believe that okay the child is improved. Like not, it's not like that. It's a slow process. The behavior will go from one abnormal behavior to a bit slightly abnormal behavior. So further again you have to try to control the you have to give continue the session. So you already have mentioned the power senses are tactile senses. So power senses are related to tactile systems, that is touch, proprioceptive system, that is joint sense and kinesthetic sense. Then you have the vestibular system. These are three are the main power sense, the important senses which we use in sensory integration therapy. This is what we want to influence. The power senses. The vestibular means movement. Proprioception means it input through joints and muscles. That is joint sense and joint kinesthetic muscles kinesthetic sense. Tactile, deep pressure, light touch, any kind of touch is what we may mean by tactile. But basically, in sensory integration therapy, we will be mostly focusing on deep pressure touch. The tactile systems we basically have, we consider two tactile systems. One is a protective system. The tactile system has a because whenever we see our skin has a particular sense to protect ourselves. So if somebody, if it there is a pin prick or a hot pot, if you touch it suddenly you remove it your hand. This comes from the tactile system, the ability of the tactile systems to protect the our body. Second is the discriminative sense, the ability to identify the type of touch and discriminate the type of sensation which the touch is feeling. By touch we can feel that whether we are touching water, whether we are touching a hard surface, whether we are touching a soft surface, what kind of texture is a cloth, those kind of discriminatory system is. So we are using both the protective sense as well as discriminative sense in the therapeutic manner. In the tactile system, pertains to sense of touch, alerts to danger, gives body boundaries. Your body, you will have a space, you will have a boundary. When you are, some people are very specific about that. Some people are not specific. So some people when they travel in a bus, they don't like somebody be touching them. So when they are sitting in a thing, they like always to be alone. They don't like somebody coming and leaning on them, sleeping on them in a bus like that. So these kind of things are like sensory adaptations of the person. Helps provide a basis for body image. So it helps to provide a basis of how we perceive our own body. Our own body image is what the tactile system is providing to us. Protective system, what it I already, as I told you, activates, fights, fright or flight. Born with this system, primal, stimulated by light touch, pain, temperature, processed through the emotional excitatory portion of the limbic system. So limbic system is the area where our emotions are controlled. In all the activities of our emotions happen in the is controlled and regulated through the limbic system. So this the protective system of our tactile system also related to pain. See, sometimes when it is a pain, or I would say it can lead to emotion. For example, for children's, pain will lead to emotionally pain will lead to crying. Normally, and sometimes as a memory of pain. When this, for example, in the olden days when the teachers used to beat the child with not answering for a question, you just keep the stick on the table. The teacher will come with a stick and keep the stick on the table. That will have an impact on in the class, that nobody will talk, everybody will listen to the class. They will, so this kind of pain touch, tactile memory, tactile protective memory, I'm talking about protective memory, has a emotional part to it. It can lead to excitatory part also, like sometimes the tactile sensation provided by a mother to a very small infant has a very good, very what you call as a huge connection between the mother and the child. So this kind of, it can be either emotional, excitatory, or sometimes it can be emotional. What I mean is different types of emotion. It can be not a cognitive response. It cannot be an intellectual response, but it is a protective response here in this case. in protective system. But in case of tactile, we can be what you call as discriminative. It can be of a intellectual side. In discriminative, pressure touch, deep touch, pressure vibration activates parasympathetic system, calms and organizes, allows for more cognitive response, helps us to learn and think. So in the discriminative part of the tactile system, it is related to learning and thinking, mean it is related to intellectual ideas, that is related to intellect. But the other one is just emotion, it's not related to intellect. So deep touch, pressure and vibration activates parasympathetic system. This is in the discriminative, that is pressure touch. Dysfunctions of the tactile system. So if the child has dysfunctions of the tactile system, what all things will happen? The child will always be distracted. These kind of children usually when a class teacher takes a class, the teacher will see that one child particularly is making lot of sounds. The child is distracted, the child is not looking at the teacher, they are looking at each other student, looking at the what is happening outside. Those kind of those children are what the teachers will call as the irritable children. Hyperactivity, normally anything hyperactive, moving their legs, making some knocking on the table, not sitting properly, moving here and there, shaking their chair, those kind of activity. Some children may be some may be over sensitivity, that means hypersensitivity. Some may be under sensitivity. So the both the opposite extremes can happen in this type of children. Hyper vigilant, the child will be, see, those who are hypersensitive, they will be hyper vigilant, they don't want, they are too much in a excited stage, so they will be mostly very careful about their what type of sense is going to come. Inappropriate pain sensation. The pain sensation, normally what the sensation should the child feel, these children in the pain sensation, either a normal stimulation which we should create a normal what you call a simple, or a very very not, what you call as a graded gradual feeling of pain. The child may not at all feel pain, or sometimes the child may feel excessive pain for a normal touch. So the child, what will the child do? Hyper vigilant. That is, they will not use their hand. They will not touch anywhere. If you ask them to give a toy, they will touch and throw it. They may not like it. Difficulties with clothing. Some day the children will not like particular clothing. They will always insist for putting one cloth, because that cloth, maybe if people will think that the mother may say that she only likes to wear her red dress. It is not related to the color most of the time. If it is the child has visual problem, it may be there, but most of the time it is related to the texture. So avoids whole hand, though the child will not use the whole hand to hold a object. They will hold it in a very tricky manner, that using only the tip of the fingers they'll be holding. Disorganized when touched. When somebody touches a child, the child's the whole organization, in the sense, the maybe the child was sitting organized and doing a particular task. If you just touch the child will become hyperactive and smash the maybe whatever the child is doing, the area painting or something, it will go and disorganized. Intolerant of wearing glasses or hearing it. The child cannot, accept the touch of the watch, wearing the glasses or hearing aids. Any object which is touching the body will be like a jewelry also. They don't wear jewelry. Difficulty with social space. They have difficulty in a social gathering. So those kind of situation. So tactile defensiveness, defensive to touch. The person is highly defensive. They don't like that, the child doesn't like somebody carrying or taking the child, carrying the child will start crying and try to go to the mother. It is not an emotional factor. See, here you should be able to understand, to differentiate this. It is sometimes, normally a new person comes and grabs the child will cry, because the child has emotional disconnect with the person. So you should be able to discriminate these kind of here we are talking about the child does not like the tactile touch given provided by the new person. Maybe the person is holding the with a deep pressure, like that. So we should be able to discriminate